Australia's stereotyped most committed crime is digital piracy. You don't hear about the Australian pirates, but you hear about the harsh clampdown of Somalian pirates. But piracy comes in many different forms, and has evolved significantly since the nation maritime scrambles of the 14th century. Lucrative companies have always been an issue for video games, through false consoles and cloning discs. But more recently, it is common for online broken versions for PCs, which is called emulation, or through downloading from servers, which is called torrenting, to be the prominently processes of pirating. Currently, emulators are safe havens for classic video games, games that are unable to run on aging and deteriorating hardware. They can be seen as a vault that is able to be opened and accessed for all sorts of video games that would otherwise be lost to time and memories. Monopolistic companies such as Nintendo are attempting to clamp down on the public as they are emulating their older video games from classic consoles such as Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube, suing people who make those emulators for millions of dollars. By clamping down on the emulators and other small entries to their markets, Steam by Valve and Nintendo's eShop for PC and Switch games respectively create a near monopoly on their markets. Some 6 to 7 year old games on their stores, such as Zelda Breath of the Wild and Sniper Elite 4, are 70 to 80 Australian dollars each, all because they can charge what they please without legal enforcement. Depending on the game, it may warrant that price, but purchasing these can pretty much only in these libraries due to how optimized they are for their communities. If there is a game for the Switch, go to the eShop. If there is a game for PC, go on Steam. Films are among the media that is most often torrented, older and modern films alike, to avoid overpaying on multiple streaming services for it. That's one of the reasons many people are pirating, was because of modern-day streaming services. They withhold the rights to different shows, and those shows that are exclusive are sometimes taken down to never be put back up into the public eye again, meaning piracy will become the sole way to review that media. But wouldn't this impact their revenue from sales of physical copies? No, it doesn't, due to companies such as Best Buy removing their sections for Blu-ray slowly over time, and their sales having always had a downward trend since Netflix became more and more prevalent in the 1990s. All copies could be enjoyed for decades to come are being withdrawn from the public consciousness to be forgotten, and by pirating we can keep personal museums of that media that currently exist, so they can be studied and enjoyed. But this has been an issue for a long while, especially in Australia, where films and TV shows used to take days to weeks to even months to get sent out to Australia, so piracy ran rampant. Torrenting music is easy, but that doesn't make it any less illegal, but due to how little artists make on any platform per stream or purchase, the act of pirating any music from Apple Music or Spotify, which deprive money artists need to live. But with many locations closing, streaming the music or purchasing the music on a streaming platform becomes the sole option. Meanwhile, those companies shell out 0.0003 to 0.01 US dollars per stream to an artist. This is a burning issue, but seemingly no one gets punished for the act, making anyone who pirates any media or steals anything that belongs to someone else without payment or permission a criminal. But this is known as an impunity crime, such as jaywalking. It happens millions of times a day, but 99% of people go unpunished for it. But why is this a bad thing? Well, piracy is a problem, since if something is stolen from someone else without payment or permission, the original owners of those items receive no payment, and in the case of music streaming, that isn't very much money. And with some films and TV and video games, there's a lot of money that they could be receiving. This may stop some talented artists from creating their works in years to come, depriving the public of entertainment. There isn't a way to completely stamp out digital piracy. But what does the future of digital piracy seem to be? Well, because of the population still ramping up, piracy won't go down. In fact, due to the mismanagement in all forms of corporation that holds our globalized media, piracy, torrenting specifically, is likely to gain significantly for decades, hoarding as many copies for as long as possible in hope that we can keep some remnants of our past.